Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
Eric?
Yeah, today is the 3rd of October 2021, and the time now is 6:16 a.m. Well, today our topic is, do you think coding is important to us nowadays? Share if you're using it for any purposes in your life. Right, so before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Okay, so today we talk about coding, and then yeah, I think we're already using it for our daily conversation, right? For example, uh, the work that's uploading our conversation to YouTube, and then actually I'm not very sure about the process of
Yeah,
using coding.
uploading actually is done by manual.
Oh, manually.
Not editing.
Editing. Oh, all right. So it means that it's cutting the video, something like that.
Yeah, and adding the text.
Oh, adding the
In our
text.
video, in our video we have a text video, right?
Mm, yeah. All right. And then also I tried to check the internet. I found that they said uh, coding can be used to create website, to design website, and then even for many big website we are using, for example, YouTube, Instagram, uh, and also something like the Zhihu. They all use the Python especially to create the to create that website.
Yeah.
So,
But I think if the website, if the company really wants to make the code efficient, they can't just use Python because Python is not the most efficient code. Yeah, maybe they'll use CPy, uh, we call Cython.
oh,
So it's using the C++ plus the Python, or
mm,
maybe they just use the C++ plus plus, or they just use a JavaScript.
mm,
Use JavaScript to write the web applications.
oh,
Yeah,
I see.
they will be more efficient.
Mm,
There's many other programming language.
mm,
And for
yeah,
example, if you want to do data analysis, instead of using Python, you also can use like the R language. Mm. Yeah,
mm,
but actually I prefer Python.
oh, yeah. And is it because Python is more user friendly? Because I saw
Yeah,
some people say that if you use C plus or if you use JavaScript, maybe you need something like 500 uh, uh, I don't know the unit, 500 unit, and then for Python maybe you just need something like 20 or
what
50.
unit? What unit you mentioned? Is it about the time, or is it
Uh, I think they are talking about um the the what's that
amount of
called?
code?
Yeah, amount of the code.
We call it line. How many line you need to write
Ah,
in order
yeah,
to run the code? Yeah.
yeah.
And do you think if mm, yeah, you can say like this. Yeah, you can say like this. Yeah,
Mm,
uh, but it but it doesn't mean that the longer the longer the line, the less efficient the code. It apply in the same programming language, but it
mm.
doesn't apply to different programming
Oh,
language. Yeah.
yeah.
So for example, if you are using the same programming language, yeah, of course, if your line, if writing a lot of line, let's say you need to use 200 line to achieve the same thing I can
Mm,
achieve with 100 line.
yeah.
Which one do you think is more efficient? Yeah.
Just the same
Uh,
platform, right? Of course, it's the lesser one.
yeah. Uh, this is a general rules. Yeah, but actually there's more rules inside.
Oh,
You need to look at how the code work. Yeah.
mm,
Why is the uh the working method. For example, maybe it use the loop, okay, and some other use like the NumPy or or pandas. Here I actually refer to the Python one because I only know about the Python programming language. If you use something like technique about the NumPy to process the data all in once, yeah. So instead of using the loop, process each data one by one by one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, let's say you got 10,000 data, and let's say you want to make the, let's say you got 10,000 data and you want to make the the number become something like the, let's say for example, make it a Fibonacci number. So let's say for example the first row is 1, and then the second row is 2, and then the third row is actually 3. And then how to get this 3 is actually the n minus 1 row plus n minus 2 row. So that means it's row 1 number plus row 2 number. 1 plus 2 equal to 3. And then how to get the row 4? So row 4 is the m minus 2 row is the row 2, so it's 2. And n minus 1 row is row 3, so it's 3. So in the row 4, the number should be 5. Yeah. So yeah, you can use a loop to do it. Yeah, to keep referring the previous 2 or previous 1 data. But it will be very, very slow, because if you want to run you want to get the 10,000 10,000 number. Yeah. So sorry, I mean you want to get the you want to get the amount in row 10,000. So you need to loop. You need to do the calculation each by each, and you will spend a lot of time. But actually, there's some methods. There's some method you can do all in once. Yeah. Yeah. And also, if you kind of like apply some other method.
Yeah.
For example, you also need to calculate one by one. But every time after you calculate, you write the variable, you write the answer into the database.
Yeah.
So every time next time you want to check the number, you don't need to calculate again. You can check whether your database have the value. If have the value, we just retrieve the value. Yeah. So if not, then you use your current answer, the answer you have, to try to find the faster way, the shorter part, the faster part, the shorter part, to get the number in the row you want to get. Yeah. So there's actually a lot of technique in here. But in general rules, the lesser line, the shorter line you write, the more efficient your code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, go back to the website just now. I said.
Sorry. I want to add more things.
Yeah.
Why people use Python? And actually, there is one code for the people who like and who prefer use Python. Which the code is something like this. Life is short, so we use Python. So what does it mean? It actually means life is short, so we want to use programming language to solve our real life problem. Yeah. So life is short, we use programming language. But this is used programming language. But why the code become we use Python? Because if you true, you use programming language, you can save a lot of time. You can solve the real life problem with lesser time. But doesn't mean that you need to learn C++, you need to learn those very difficult language, those hard to learn language. And so that every time you want to solve a problem, you need to figure out how to write the code.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so this is also another problem for
Mm.
those very, very efficient language because they usually is very base layer of language. That means this is computer friendly, but it is not user friendly. It is not human friendly.
Mm.
Computer can read the code very, very easily, but human cannot. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you want to make the base code easy easily to read for human, that means there is not easily read by the machine, by your computer. Yeah,
Mm.
so the code here means which is the code here, uh life is short, we use Python. It actually means that we want to find a balance. Yeah, we don't want to spend a lot of time in learning coding,
Yeah.
but we still can't solve our real life problem. Yeah, and instead of doing that, we also don't uh uh, beside of that, we also would like to use programming language to solve our real life problem. So we choose a balance, we choose Python. Yeah,
Mm.
which is easier to learn than all other language, and also is popular, and many people use this language, and is there's a huge community,
Mm.
and you have a lot of third party uh, source, and you have a lot, we call it module, or we call it like the library. Yeah.
Mm.
So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. And for some language, for example C++ or all those that, and
Yeah.
if you want to do a task, maybe you really need to redo from sketch. You cannot like use other people code.
Oh.
And by Python you can do that. Yeah.
Mm.
So uh, I remember I told you before. Actually,
Mm.
Python, what you really want to learn is the basic one, and after the basic one, you just need to learn what module, what library you can get, and how to use those modules to solve your problem. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yep.
So Python is like this. Yeah.
Mm.
So this is why many people uh love Python,
Mm.
including me.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So just now you mean that for Python comparing to any other similar platform, it has a larger community so that uh for for normal user it will be easier, right?
Mm,
Mm. Yep. And then um yeah, just now you talk about life is short. So for people who want to use maybe they want to use coding for some purpose, they use Python. So yeah, so for here um yeah, maybe for me, I still find it hard uh to imagine. Maybe I really don't know about coding. So you also said that coding can help us in our life in many ways. So yeah, would you like to share something about the purposes that you're using it, or any other purposes that we can use in our life? Because
what?
if you say coding, and then I think for many apps they are already using coding, right? So
Mm, mm,
yeah, so we can also say that actually we sometimes use some apps, let's say to record some of our things in our life, and that's already using coding.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And then so how about if we say the coding like Python, and comparing to those apps and the usage in our life, do you think for a layman, for a user people not working in the IT industry, do we need to learn Python to improve our maybe daily task managing daily task, and then doing some basic thing in our life?
Yeah. You actually need to go back to the whole uh topic. Yeah. The
Mm.
first question, the topic. I think you designed the question. You designed the topic very well, because this is the correct mindset. This is the right direction to understand. why we need to learn coding. At the first, why coding is important, and I can give you two answer.
Yeah.
And the first one is, by learning the code, you really can save a lot of time, and then you can focus something that you that you want to focus on something that really matter, that really important. So try to imagine uh, a person without coding skill is the poor. They have many things need to deal with in daily life. Try to think about if a person with a coding skill is something like the rich person, rich people, and they don't have much more thing need to deal in real life
Mm.
because all other things have been automated by the machines,
Yeah.
by the computer. Yeah, so it's a huge difference. Yeah, and uh, if you know about the idea, why poor become so poor, why rich will become uh even richer, and then you know the gaps cannot be reversed, and just because the self-controlling ability, we don't have we don't have unlimited self-controlling ability, and
Mm.
if we need
Mm.
to spend our additional time, our additional efforts on those quote unquote unimportant or uh, urgent thing, urgent but unimportant things, and
Mm.
then we'll spend all our self-controlling ability, and we have no time to think, and we have no time to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So this is the first one. This is the first reason. And the second reason is actually coding. You don't need to be a programmer. What you need is actually to able to understand, able to read, able to understand the code. And it actually, by learning the coding, it actually give you the perspective. It give you a new perspective to look at the world. Especially now we every day we interact with the computer, we interact with the internet.
Mm.
So we can understand the code, we can understand the application. And yeah, you are right. And you say there's a lot of application we can use. For example, from the Google extensions, or from the internet, we can find a lot of software.
Yeah.
But some of software need you to pay money, you know.
Mm.
But
Right.
do you know you actually can find the software that don't need to pay, that you don't need to pay money. Mm. And how can you do that? Are you are you just searching from internet, keep search, yeah, any other software can be used, and uh uh don't need to pay? But actually most of them
Mm.
need you to pay money. Yeah,
Yeah.
so far as you know. And maybe the application, maybe the apps initially don't charge you money, but after that they still will charge you money. After
Mm.
some time, when a team become larger and larger, they have to charge you money, otherwise they can't survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if you know about learning, so if you know about coding, and if you join into this bigger community, this big community, and actually coding, especially Pythons, there's a huge uh community, and we actually is kind of like create an open source community. So you actually can use other people work. Yeah. And you just need to something like copy and paste into your
Mm.
into your script, and then you change a little bit, you read, you understand the code, and then you change a little bit, and you can use the thing to do your task. Yeah.
Mm.
So is something like, instead of searching the Google extension application, instead of searching the software, you go to the open source uh, community, or open source uh, uh, how to say the things. I think should be
Database.
not database. Yeah, maybe I should use the, yeah. I can still use the community. Yeah, it should be the most appropriate terms. Okay, you join the open source community, and then you can find is there is there any people have done this and make it open source, so you can directly use their code to solve your problem. So for
Mm.
one example is the Caliber. Yeah, the Caliber, which is
Yeah.
one of the application I shared to you, is actually this is an open source project. Yeah, yeah. So how open source project works is actually like all the people they join together and then they do something with no profit motive. Yeah, they just use their free time to do the thing, and everyone can cooperate with this. So if you want to join, if you want to make the application become better, if you want to make the code become better, you can join. You don't need to pay, and nobody will also pay you. And it seems it is something like some many people will have a similar uh problem they want to solve, and the problem is too big for one person to solve, and so they can join together. Yeah, they can join together, and then they solve the problem uh together. Yeah, and in future, one of the trend is hello. Can you
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
hear? Yeah.
I'm
In,
listening.
yeah. In futures, one of the trend is actually most of our application will be open source. So we won't have like the, for example, now Google application, YouTube application,
Mm.
Skype, all that is actually a closed, it is a closed source application, because you need to access, uh, you use the you use the apps that created by the company. The company recruit developer, a lot
Mm.
of uh, a lot of programmer, and then design the application,
Yeah.
and they charge money on you, or maybe it's free, but they have other uh, they have other revenue model, they have other business model
Mm.
to earn profit from that. Yeah. But yeah, instead of using those closed source application, you can choose to use open source application. And yeah, so for example, you can find the open source Google, or the open source Skype, or open source WhatsApp. Yeah, and and you may think this is less appealing because we already can use Google, we already can use
Mm.
Skype, we already can use WhatsApp for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, of course. And nobody will use decentralized, or nobody will use the open source WhatsApp, Google, because there's no consensus, not much people using that. Yeah,
Mm.
most of people still stay in the WhatsApp, still stay in the Google, all that. Yeah, but try to think some other example. Yeah, you have a lot of application. You have you can search a lot of Google extension.
Yeah.
You have a lot of web application. You can go to the website and you can use the application. You can access a service for free. But can you use those service to earn money? Is there any free? Is there any free of charge? Is there any free of charge service or application for you to earn money? Yeah. So
Mm.
this is one of the things. But if you join this open source community, yeah, some of the people already working for example, like the trading bot. Yeah, and if you want to use a trading bot in a closed source, so you want to subscribe the service from a company, you use the software, the applications, and the
Yeah.
company will charge you money. Yeah, they'll charge you money. And if you don't want to pay the money, the only way you can go is use the open source application. Yeah. And actually, right now, my trading bot is actually come from the open source. Yeah. So the project is actually uh, worked by and produced by a group of developer, a group of
Mm.
the programmer, and they have no profit motive. And when the project make it open source, what does it mean? It means that copy, you can copy the whole project, the whole code
Yeah.
into your computer. And maybe in future they want to shut down the project, but you still on the project, you still have the project, you still can use it to solve your problem.
Mm.
Just a project, just a software, nobody update. Yeah.
Mm.
So that
Yeah.
means when the things make it open source, everyone can use it for free. Yeah. Yeah. But
Mm.
the closed source is not like this. You can use the service, but the service but the code, the things, the application is not owned by you. Yeah.
Mm.
And one another reason is why open source project becomes so popular. And because uh when you make when you make the project open source, and they will have ton of programmer can join this project. But if your project is closed,
Yeah.
only few programmer can 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 work for that. Yeah, and also another reason is open source project most of the time will be more innovative. Yeah, because more people, more idea. Yeah, they
Mm.
can make suggestions, they can discuss, they can improve the product very very fast. Uh, there's a technical term which is iterate, which is called reiterate. So reiterate is something like the 迭代, reiterate your software and make it upgrade, make it become newer and newer and stronger. Now,
Mm.
so this is a powerful open source. Uh,
Yeah.
and just one of the one of another thing is, for example, you look at blockchain. All
Yeah.
blockchain project is open source. Mm, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. If you think blockchain is the future, maybe one of the reason is because it embraces open source. Yeah, can you
Mm.
imagine a Bitcoin? A Bitcoin is closed source. Yeah,
Mm.
so this is not decentralized, and
Yeah.
not many people can join this. Not many people can upgrade the system. If there's any bug occurred, and the software will die very quickly. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
but for open source project, and yeah, they still will face the bug, but they can solve it very fast. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, and you can imagine like a project have have a have developer, have programmer to work on that every single minute or every single second. Yeah, because
Mm.
open source project, uh, every country, the people in every country can join. So maybe you have Asians programmer to join, maybe you have US programmer to join. So that means 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days, they will have people look at this project. Yeah. So if there's any bug occurred, which one are more able to react to the bug, to the failure, uh, or which one can respond to the bug, to the failure promptly? Of course,
Mm.
it's open source one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, yeah, talk about many open source, and uh, one of one of the one of the open source website community is called GitHub, GitHub.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and what?
Yeah. No, I record it down.
Yeah, and um, what you need to do, for example, you try to find, let's say, uh, you try to find teaching schedule. For example, you try teaching schedule,
Yeah.
and then you space and you use GitHub after the terms. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. And you can find there are a lot of there are a lot of so I mean the first page in the Google, they have some project, and which is the link. You need to look at the link is under GitHub. Yeah. So those application is actually if you click inside, there's like many things. For example, there's something like the codes, the issues, the pull requests, actions, project key, wiki, security inside. Then you are in the right place. Yeah, and so you can scroll down and look at the description of this project. What does it do? Yeah, what it's trying to solve. Yeah, and you can try to find it. Yeah, for example, current one I look at, which is one of the thing is classroom scheduling demo. Yeah.
Okay.
So it seems like it seems like okay, it seems like this project can generating a schedule, and if you want to schedule against multiple rooms, plot each variable using 3 dimensions. So that means it seems like you have your own schedule on like something like Google Sheets or maybe in the Excel, but you want to make it visualize. Yeah, to see is there any crash, is there any mistake you make. So the only thing you need to do is the only thing you can do is visualize data. So this not only for you to check the mistake, it also for the students. Yeah, for example, let's say for students, they want to know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which day, which time they have class. And you cannot give them the data. You need to give them a table. Maybe it's 2 dimension table, and then you plot like you highlight the cell, the place. For example, Monday 2 p.m. they have class, and Thursday 2 p.m. they also have classes, something like that. And this one is for teacher. And this one is for teacher. This is like plot the classroom. So for example, a teacher have a lot of class they need to teach, and they need to plan for themselves. So for example, like in the Monday to Friday morning, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I need to teach like a few subjects. Yeah, and afternoon I also will teach another subject. Yeah, so you can plot it. You can plot it into your time schedule. So you know, for example, in Monday, 8 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. you need to teach English 101, and from 9:30 to 11:15 you need to teach linear uh, algebra 1. Yeah, and there's a lunch break from 11:30 to 12:45.
Yeah.
And and then you prepare for next class, and from 1 p.m. to 1 point to uh to 1:40 45 you need to teach like the uh psychology 101, something like that, so you can plot your timetable. Now, so maybe this is maybe this can be used for the freelancer teacher. Yeah, so to plot your schedule, yeah, to make it visualize. And maybe it can use for school. Yeah, the school can use this application to design the work for teacher. Yeah, so this application try to like visualize the data. Yeah, and there are many others. For example, if I try if I try other, if I try others, for example, there's a course scheduler. So this is another project. I'm not sure this project what it's trying to solve.
Mm.
Uh, okay, this project is a Python script to generate course schedule for small private school. Yeah, so it also similar. It also is a similar a project to try to minimize the number of schedule conflicts students experience. So that means, for example, in Crescendo, uh, the teacher and the school cannot simply cannot simply manage, cannot simply schedule our time. They also need to think about our experience. For example, they cannot ask us to come every day. Yeah, if they can plan well, for example, you just need to come Monday, Wednesday, and Friday,
Yeah.
and then instead of coming instead of coming every day in the morning, yeah, you coming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and full day. So they kind of like improve the student experience and also uh, make them to allocate, make them to easily manage the classroom. Yeah, because if they can do this well and they can use lesser resources to achieve higher returns. Yeah, so this is something that I search. And also, if you also can you also can do something like this. For example, I change another thing. Let's say I change like uh okay, if I change video video editing and then I space, I type Python, and then I space again, I type GitHub.
Mm.
Yeah, so video editing Python GitHub. Yeah, and then you can see a lot of result. And then the first one is a movie pipe. Yeah,
Mm.
video editing with Python. And this is the module that I'm using. Yeah. And some of them is just a code. Some of them is just a library, it's just a library and or the module. Yeah. And some of them is really already a mature application, so you can directly use it. Yeah, but most of them will be in the code-based term. Code-based product. You at least you need to know some code. You need to set up the environment so you
Mm.
can use. Yeah. So to join this open source community, this is not easy. This is not that easy. Like you go to the internet, you go to the Google extensions uh, website, and then you just search the software, and then you just download so that you can use. And if
Mm.
it's not good, and you just remove it, and then you download another to try.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. Yeah.
Mm.
You also need to go through this process. Yeah. In the open source world, you need to try each of them. And besides that, you also need to really understand how to use it. Yeah.
Mm.
So without coding ability, you can't do that. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So this is this is two reasons I think coding is really important for us. Yeah, and you don't need to be a programmer. If you want to if you want to use programming, you want to use coding to
Yeah.
make money, you want to find a career. Yeah, I think it will be very difficult because this market is so competitive. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
But if you want to learn coding to utilize uh to improve your productivity, to maximize your returns, this is a very good way. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And uh what kind of project I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
The first one is the video editing, and then the second one, let me check. And then the second one, I think, uh okay, I talk about my job one.
Mm.
So I use for my work task. Okay, the first one, I think, okay, automate the backup task. And it actually I make the code automatically help me click the button using the mouse, using the keyboard. Yeah. So it's actually similar to human. Yeah. What human can do,
Mm.
the machine, this application also can do. So for example, if you want to back up your system, you need
Yeah.
to, let's say you need to double click your the application, and then you need to go to some place and then click some other button, and then maybe you need to change the date to
Mm.
current date.
Yeah.
So maybe your backup, you want to back up to a specific folder. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, this application is help me to automatically back up my accounting system. Yeah.
Mm.
In my company. Yeah, of course. I don't need to really replicate the manual. Yeah. I also can combine some other things. So uh maybe I can use some code directly call out the application instead of click inside the folder and find it out one by one. Yeah. So
Mm.
but the main concept of this application is use it to uh to help me automate my backup task. Yeah. So
Mm.
uh this application will save me like 2 minutes a day. Yeah, 2 minutes a day. Yeah, and 2 minutes a day, is it a lot? No, it's not a lot. Yeah. But try to imagine when it's a time to back up and you are doing your own things.
Mm.
Yeah, you are doing
Yeah.
your own thing. And you don't want to disturb your mind. You don't want to distract by doing other things. And what you need to do is you open these applications and then you click and let it automate. Let it automate to help you to backup. And maybe in the backup, during the backup, you cannot do other things, or maybe you still can do. It depends. And let's say you are able to do the task. Yeah. So you are not using the system to you are not work on a system. Maybe you work on an Excel. So that means there's no conflict. You can simultaneously back up your software and then using Excel to do your own thing. Yeah.
Mm.
So at this time, and then after you click the button and you let it run first, maybe you will spend like 30 minutes to to back up. Okay. And then backup you need some time, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but it will click the button until it is backuping. Yeah. So after backuping, so you can continue to do your task. And when you do this, you click the button and let it run, and then you can like sit down on your chair. You don't need to click the button, and you can like you can still think. You can still think your problem. You can still think on your work. So you didn't get distracted. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, but what if without this application, every time I need to back up and when I'm doing my thing, I really need to use my mouth, use my keyboard to to click to change the date.
Mm.
And
Which is the
yeah,
folder.
yeah, it's like this. So it actually will take more time, and also because it requires you to spend in the effort.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it will distract your mind. Yeah, so you'll
Yep.
get distracted. Yeah, and this is the case when you need to when you need to do a task. And what if you don't need to do a task? Yeah, so after click the button, you just go to toilet. Mm. And then
Mm.
after come back, yeah, you can continue to do your own thing. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So instead of click all the button and then yeah, so you can save the 2 minutes. You really can save the 2 minutes. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by doing that, it actually free your mind. Yeah. This is uh the 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 greater benefits. Yeah, that I get from this application. Yeah, it is not just a 2 minutes per day. And
Mm.
try to imagine maybe doing the task need you 2 minutes, but if you want to if you want to get back your attention to your original task, it may take
Yeah.
long. Yeah, so it may take more than maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, so add up together will be 7 minutes. And also it can reduce the human error. And also one of the purpose I do this application is every time after I back up, either I need to set the alarm on my phone so that after backup my alarm would ring. Yeah, because I can roughly get the I can roughly
Guess the
know,
time.
guess the time. So for example, let's say it's 10 minutes. Yeah, but if I using but if I back up manually, yeah. So and then if I want to focus back my on task, do you think after 10 minutes I will remember? I actually am backupping, and the backup already done, and I didn't inform my other user that the backup already done. You can log in your system already. Yeah, so that means it was also distract my attention again.
Yeah.
And also I need to go and if I don't set the alarm on my phone, I really will forget the thing. Maybe after 30 minutes or after 1 hour, my staff will come to me. Yeah, is the backup done already? Yeah, something like that. So it's not good. Yeah, but what I can do is I set the time in this application. So maybe I set 30 minutes. Yeah, I set 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes, and then my screen on my computer will inform me the backup should be done. Please check. Yeah, so I check. Okay, the backup already done, and then I click in. Okay, and then I click OK, and then I can inform my user that you can access you can use the software already. Yeah, so because I'm using computer, you can say all the time. Yeah, because and also so I can use my computer to let me know. To tell me. To inform me. To notify me. It should be done. It should have done already. And same as the daily conversation video editing, because it takes like maybe sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 1 hour, depend on the length of the video. And if I forget, I actually editing the video, and then maybe after 2 or 3 hours, only after 2 or 3 hours, I realized that. So to me, it's not that good. So I want after the video fully edited, and then the Python will tell me, the application will tell me. So I can move on. So this is two of the project I'm doing. And then the third one actually is a series of the application. This actually is help me do the data analysis. So it's kind of like get the data from the accounting system, and then use this information, use the data to turn into some other table, some other data able and allow you to do analysis. So and some other let me see. It's something like this is a few big project I'm doing, and this is for work. And for my personal, one of the major one is the trading board. It's a trading board. For the work, I also have some others, which is I can merge the PDF. I can split the PDF. On Python, so I don't because my computer at work I cannot access the internet. So with internet it will be very easy, because you just need to go to a website, you upload file, and then you can split, you can merge very easily. But for my computer, I cannot access internet. So I make an application that I can use Python to separate, to merge the PDF file. So I don't need to go to another computer, copy the file, take my pen drive, go to another computer that they're able to access the internet and do the thing. After that, unplug my pen drive and go back to my desk. Yeah. So I don't need to do that. I can stay in one computer to do all the things.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this few thing and trading boards, and also one of another thing is using some API. Yeah, actually trading board is a big project. And I try to make it my own in the past, and it's not that well. Yeah, because if you want to make it really well, it will take a lot of time. Just like what I say, is actually a very big project. Many people are interested. To this project, but they find it hard to do it with only one person. So this is the powerful of open source project.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the past, I can in the past, the trading for I'm doing is let's say like every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes, you can set the time, and it will upload, and it will update the Google Sheet data. So this means you are not using your computer. You don't need to sign in your Google account. You use your phones. Even though you are another user, you want to share the file to other people. Other people can also see the real-time update Google Sheet.
Yeah.
So just like our Google Doc. But try to imagine the Google Doc is automatically updated. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the features in the current trading board I'm using is actually I can know is anybody touch my computer? Yeah, it's actually one feature, but it's not intended. It's not intended. I mean, it's not designed intentionally by the project, by the programmer. It actually, yeah, because the current trading board I'm using can link to the Telegram. Yeah, and every time the signal occurs, the Telegram will prompt the message. Yeah. So when my computer it's not shut down, it's when my computer sleep.
Yeah.
And when I request the information from the Telegram bot, from Telegram bot, and it will not reply me. Yeah, it will not reply me because my computer is shut down or in sleep. Yeah. But if somebody turn on my computer, and then my trading bot will reactivate again, and then it will prompt the message, it will reply me my request, it will answer my request. So that means I know at that time, at that current moment, somebody are using my computer. Yeah, so this is something like a very interesting one. This is one of the features, one of the functions, yeah, that design unintentionally.
Yeah.
Because in the past I also want to know, yeah, whether I can know maybe my computer cannot access the internet already. Maybe maybe some people maybe some people in the house turn on the internet, sorry, turn off the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that means my strategy will have some times they are not able to react to the market. Yeah. So this is something that I want to know. And also I want to know maybe whether the strategy is still working or not. Yeah, is still are able to access the data. Yeah. Yeah. So this in the past I want to understand, I want to try to solve. And yeah, I did solve it. I use the Google Sheets. I use all those things. Yeah, and yeah, for example, if you connect to your Google Sheet, you can do something like that. Every 5 minutes, it will it will update the current times in the Google Sheet. So you know, for example, let's say the time now, every 10 minutes, so the time now should be the last update should be 7:10. Yeah, but if the time shown in the Google Sheet is like, let's say it's 6:30, then you know they already have 40 minutes. The system is not running. They
Yeah.
must have some problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, uh yeah, uh yeah, my dad trading strategy, the trading bot that I designed for myself can only work for one ticker. Yeah, of course I can replicate the same code to different ticker. Yeah,
Mm.
but it will also increase the workload for the computer. Yeah, and the current and the current trading bot I'm using, yeah, it can trade all the available ticker in the market. Yeah, and it actually require lesser computer uh, energy. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, this is a powerful of the open source. So yeah, but without knowing the coding, if you don't know about the if you don't know about the coding,
Yeah.
you can't access this. Yeah, you can't access to you can't use these open source applications
Mm.
because you need some times to set up. You need to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, there are many tutorial in the video. Yeah, sorry, in the YouTube. Mm. Yeah, you can search and you can follow them. You can try to do and you can figure out by your own. Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
But even though you follow those video, you also will face a lot of problem. For example, in the video, the YouTuber didn't face a problem, but you will face a problem. And then
Mm.
so that means you have nobody to rely on. You need to
Yeah.
search the information by your own, maybe from internet, maybe figure out by your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the all the thing I want to share for
Mm.
today.
Yeah. All right. And then yeah, also just now you talk about using let's say Python, and then it can also link to the time, right? Like, as you mentioned, for example, if you want automate the saving, the save to save your document, and then you can also link it to the time, for example, every 5 minutes, and it's saved automatically. It is possible, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
But what kind of file you want to save?
For example, the um, for Words and Excels, if we use the online one, they will help us to save automatically, right?
Mm, mm.
Mm. Yeah. So maybe for those offline one, we can uh, apply on the offline offline software.
You mean the offline file?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but your Excel name will change all the time. So your Python, your application don't know which file you want to save. Yeah.
Oh.
So it will have problem. Mm. And if you want to work on Excel, the
Yeah.
better way is not using Python. The better way is using the VBA. Yeah, using a VBA, which is the inbuilt programming language in Excel or in the Microsoft Office application.
Oh.
Yeah, and in VBA you can like let's say you can do something like that. Save every 1 second or that. Yeah, but it actually will crash your Excel. Yeah. So instead of doing that, what you need to do is you can form a habit. They will be more easier for most of people. You form a habit, you create,
Mm.
and you know the shortcut, which is Control plus S.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every time you type something, Control plus S, Control plus S. Yeah, because it really it doesn't spend, it doesn't spend a millisecond to think. Yeah, every time after I type the data,
Mm.
and my left hand didn't do other things, I will type Control plus S. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So you don't need to think after you form this habit.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, and also it raised to another point, which is not all the things need to done by programming. Yeah. Not
Mm.
all the things you need to automate by using programming. You can use some other creative way, just like for example, the forming a habit.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as our purpose is make it as convenient as efficient it is, right?
Mm, mm,
Mm. Yep. And also, yeah, to me, I suddenly feel like knowing these kind of programming languages um, is something that um, we can save money. This is the first point, and then the second is we can access more better services. And
it
for
doesn't
the
it, maybe it's not better, because there's no customer service. You need to find a solution for your own all the time. Yeah.
mm, but
Uh,
it is something that we want, right? We can choose what we want.
yeah. Yeah, but sometimes the thing may not is the thing you want. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, so we need to wait for the inventor, right? For other people.
mm. Or you create it by your own.
Mm. Yep. And then it reminds me of something like we discussed before, controlling our expenses in our life, and then maybe if we have some skill, we can do it by our own. If we don't have, we have to rely on the market. And for the uh, programming languages, I think is has some similarities here, which
Mm.
if you don't know the languages, you have to rely on the market. You have to buy a specific software. You have to pay it, and then you cannot do it by your own. And then by knowing coding, knowing this kind of programming languages, we can actually somehow do it by our own, right?
Yeah. And about the main point is actually it give you a new perspective to look at the things, and it actually allow you to see the opportunity that you are not able to see in the past.
Mm,
Mm, yeah.
yeah.
And it actually can link you to the open source world, especially if if you dedicated in blockchain finance or the decentralized finance. Yeah.
Mm,
And you don't need to know the code. You just need to know how to use them. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just an application. And all of them is open source project. Yeah. And you don't need to know about the coding, but if you know a little bit coding, it will be better. Yeah.
Mm,
And yeah, because I certainly don't believe that a person don't have don't have a basic programming language don't have a programming language basis who interested to blockchain. I really don't think so. Mm,
mm,
yeah, because you can't see how potential it is. Just like what I mentioned just now,
mm.
you can't see the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, and I have the feeling for this even right now because I just don't know what it can do, you know.
You can
I
do
just
everything.
yeah, I just cannot imagine and
Yeah.
how they do it. I need to know some basics, like you mentioned.
Mm,
Only then I know what I can use it for. Uh, maybe some purposes in my life.
yeah. Yeah. Right. In the past, when I first learned about programming, I just learned and I don't know what's the usage, what's the use
Mm,
case. Yeah,
mm,
but right now, if I have the new task need to do, maybe it's a new project to me, and I will
yeah.
think, yeah, maybe I can use Python to do it.
Mm,
Because I know Python definitely can help me did that. Yeah, but
mm,
and I also know something that Python programming language are not able to do, or maybe it will spend you a lot of time and it's not worth. Yeah, it may be it's better for you to form a habit, some or using some other manual technique to
mm,
automate it.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm. And okay, for example, uh, one another example in the past, I used. I use my old trading bots,
Yeah.
trading strategy. I need to keep my computer awake all the time, and it
Mm.
actually is computer. Yeah, and after sometimes I found that sorry, I mean for our current trading bot, and I found
Yeah.
that the trading, because my trading bot nowadays is using daily time frame to do trading. So based on the based on the UTC time, the UTC zero time.
Mm.
So based on the UK, the United Kingdom time,
Yeah.
the time zone is zero. Yeah. So based on the times, and in our Asian country, it is around 8 a.m.
Yeah.
8 a.m. So 8 a.m. will occur signal. Yeah, because it only trade the daily. It only trade every day. So it
Mm.
will only have one. It will only have uh one time period that occur the signal, which is around like 8 a.m. to
Mm.
maybe 8 8:05 a.m. Yeah. So what I need to do is, if I want to let my computer sleep, I can do that. I just need to make it wake up on, let's say, for my current setting is 7:50 a.m. and it will automatic sleep on 8:15
Mm.
on 8:15 a.m. And it's also done by it's not done by Python. It's not done by any programming language. It's just done by the window setting.
Mm.
Yeah, use the Windows setting. So it is not using the programming to do it. And yeah, and because after you sleep your computer, your programming language cannot run, your code cannot run. So
Mm. Yeah.
you need to rely on the on the on the Windows system. Yeah, the Windows can do that. And even some uh for some computer, it depends on the BIOS system. Yeah. Uh you can even like uh the Hibernate. I forget the pronunciation. It's like the Dongmian.
Mm.
So we have three types. The first is a sleep. Sleep is something like uh you can like turn off the computer, but you can active but you can activate your
Wake him up.
computer, yeah, in a very quick time.
Mm.
And the second is the Hibernate. Hibernate, it will spend more time to back to the uh to make it usable, to make the computer usable.
Mm.
Yeah, but it is like the effect of Hibernate, uh the effect of the Hibernate is similar to you shut down your computer.
Oh. Mm.
So it really shut down. It really turn off the hardware. Yeah, it really turn off the hardware, the battery, all the things, just like you shut down the computer.
Yeah.
And it can, yeah. Uh, for Windows, if the hardware is if the hardware enable, yeah, if the hardware enable to record the time, yeah, some computer have this hardware, some computer don't have. Yeah, if there is a hardware that able to record the time, yeah, so maybe it's not record the time, maybe it record a second. Yeah, but so far, let's
Mm.
say even though it can record a second only,
Yeah.
when your computer still awake, you know the current time, and then you know when you want to shut down the computer or when you want to turn on your computer. And
Mm.
after shutdown, it will activate the hardware and it will start to count the time, count
Yeah.
the second. And
Yeah.
after the second, it will turn on again or it will
Mm.
turn off. Yeah. So
Like
if
a timer. Right.
yeah, it's something like timer. Yeah. If the if yeah, if your hardware support this function, then you can do that. Yeah, but unfortunately, my computer don't support this function, so I can only sleep my computer. Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
So this is through the, if I'm not wrong, it's through the like the window scheduler. Yeah, I also watch some video to do some to know how to do this thing. And after setup, yeah, my computer now every day will will turn off, will sleep. on activities and will turn on awake from sleep every uh, uh, on every day 750 minutes.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the main point here is programming language it's just one of the tools for you to automate, to make your task, to improve your productivity. Yeah. But by learning the programming, by learning the coding, you are able to use a different perspective to look at the things. Yeah. This is something like you can reduce your unknowns.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is the most important thing. This is the most important reasons why you need to learn learn coding.
Mm.
Yeah. You don't need to spend a lot of time to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, want to mention is for Python it is free, right?
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
Python is an open source language. Yeah, just like other programming language, all programming language is something like the base one. The base one, yeah, is for free. Yeah, of course it's for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only you can build the things on the free thing. Only you can build the thing on the open source thing. Yeah.
Mm. Yep.
And programming, can you imagine programming language is something like you use your hand and you grab a pen, write write something on the paper and write something on paper. So it's and then you pass this paper to your mother or to other people, and then you say, yeah, this is a grocery list,
Yeah.
and help me go buy this thing. So actually, what you're trying to do, you write out a task, you ask somebody, you ask a real human to help you do the task. So that means you try to automate the task.
Mm. Yeah.
But for programming language, it's something like you write the thing that the computer are able to read, and then you pass to him, you pass to it, and ask it help you to do the things. Yeah.
Mm. Yep.
So it's for free. Of course, it's for free because
Mm.
this is just like you directly communicate with the computer.
Yep.
Okay, anything want to add in?
Yeah, no, and really appreciate for your sharing.
Mm. Okay, so that's all for our today conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversation? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake that we made, please also comment to let us know because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like, subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.